Srečamo. In Slovenian, this means good luck. And it's a phrase that's also become the common greeting between people in the traditional coal mining region of Zasavie, with the hope that the fortune would protect the workers in their risky profession. Zasavie is one of the two regions in this country eligible for funding from the Just Transition Fund. It's a small region composed of 3 valleys and only an hour away from the capital, Ljubljana, which traditionally supplied with coal and electricity to meet the needs of the big city. These operations, however, shut down a decade ago, and since then Zasavie has been plagued by chronic unemployment and low salaries. In that sense, good luck greeting continues to imply a sense of standing up to fate in dire circumstances. In today's podcast episode of Top Jobs, we'll sit for an informative conversation with Mартин Шиковц, head of the Засавие Just Transition Center, an operation that seeks to affirm that good luck is not necessarily a matter of providence, but a question of hard work and ambition, qualities that are innate to the local people of these towns. With that, we say hello to Martin. Hello.
Hello.
So, let's begin. How did the Zasavie Just Transition Center begin, and whose idea was it to establish this hub?
Well, Zasavie Just Transition has its roots in 2019, when Regional Development Agency of Zasavie decided actually to go to the conference in Brussels. The European Commission organized a conference on coal regions in transition, and over there we got the information that we can apply for technical assistance for the continuation of our regional restructuring away from coal. We have already completed the coal phase out in 2015, but until then the restructuring was not so successful. So it's actually a common opinion already about that, and we were seeking new ways, new support to continue with the restructuring. And these were actually the roots, the Just Transition Conference, and then the application for technical assistance of the European Commission that was later also granted to us.
It's great. So, in that sense, Zasavie already has a long experience with transition. Maybe not just one, but transitioning away from coal. And this year it's going to be 10 years since I guess the mine closed down, or the coal plant. Yeah. Correct me if I'm
2014. I think.
2014. Yeah. So it's 10 years now, and there was, so would you say that those were, the past decade was kind of like one with a lot of economic struggling and hardship for the region?
Yeah, we will. After the gradual coal phase out started in 2000, we faced quite substantial social and economic challenges. We faced depopulation in 20 years. 11% of people, of inhabitants actually vanished from our region, moved to other regions. We face a high percentage of daily migrations to work to other regions, around 50%, whereas in 2000, when the coal phase out started, it was only 20%. The GDP is actually one of, or the lowest one in the south region. In Slovenia, it actually reaches only 50% of the Slovenian average, whereas in 2000 it was around 80%.
Also, the region was much richer in the past.
It was richer. It was deemed as one of the most successful developed. But after the coal phase out, you know, the whole social and economical structure actually collapsed. So we needed to do something. There were some measures in place also during the coal phase out, but they were, I think, not efficient enough. So with Just Transition, we went into the second phase of transition with the help of European funds, and
This is now this is what we'll get into. Also, can you just tell me in that you mentioned that 11% of you lost basically during that transition away from population, and how many jobs were lost as well in that period?
1/3 of the total, so it's more than 30%. It was around 6,000 jobs.
Yeah, that's quite radical. And in that sense, that from what I understand, that's also changed the structure of like how the work habits of the labor force of the local population. That the people who do remain employed now, they had to seek jobs in Ljubljana, especially I guess being not that far away. So I read somewhere statistics that like half of the workforce of the employed people actually travel daily, commute for work away from. They still live here, but they have to go and travel somewhere else to earn their living.
Yeah, luckily our region is close to Ljubljana, close to the most developed region in Slovenia, so they could find jobs more easily. But it takes them 3 hours actually to commute daily.
Also, in certain way, you'd say the connectivity is not as developed infrastructurally.
Luckily, we are quite well connected by railway to Ljubljana because we are located near close to on the railway line, which connects Vienna to Trieste and goes through Ljubljana.
That's like
we have trains every hour to Ljubljana, even more in the morning rush hours. So this type of commuting actually alleviated some of the troubles that we faced due to the loss of jobs.
How's it? One more point. How, in terms of economy, how has it affected this economic slowdown? Has it also affected the property prices? For example, has housing become much cheaper than over the years?
Well, I'm not an expert on that field, but as to my knowledge, we have one of the lowest housing prices in Slovenia. But the thing here in Zasavie is that it's quite densely populated, and that quite a lot of housing is old and therefore not so wanted or suitable for living. So the prices of the housing are still high, but compared to Ljubljana, you can say that they are much cheaper.
I understand. Now let's get into the profile of the Just Transition Center, its purpose, its activities. Since basically we already discussed it for 2 decades now, there has been already a transition locally. But how is the center ensuring that this transition can become fair and just going forward? Do you think that it's even a little bit late for that, for a just transition to happen? Or?
Well, it could happen sooner. It would certainly be better, but I think it's never too late. To make it fair, I think the right way is to include all the participants, all the stakeholders. We did so with Just Transition. We actually, at the beginning, invited all the stakeholders to this process. We asked them to submit their projects that could contribute to regional restructuring. And they submitted 50 projects, which were then the basis for designing the measures for regional restructuring, just transition measures that are now entailed in the so-called territorial just transition plan of Zasavie.
And so it was the Just Transition Center. When was it founded exactly?
Well, formally it was founded in 2023 or October 2022 when we signed the contract.
About a year.
But the roots are in 2019.
Oh, the initial idea when you started.
Yeah.
And so now, can you tell us more about its activities, like day-to-day activities, and what is its essence?
Well, at the moment, we are. Our most important task is to support investors in designing their project ideas, and now when a lot of projects have been approved already, we will support them in the implementation phase. We will monitor, evaluate the whole process, and then with the collected data inform the ministries, the state, and the European Commission. And one of the most important tasks is also to promote the opportunities of just transition.
Yeah.
What is available there for support? What are the new European initiatives such as circular economy, new European Bauhaus? In this regard, we organize workshops, seminars. We also organize study visits abroad. We've been twice to Netherlands and so on. And this is actually the majority of our work. Yeah.
In that sense, do you work with a lot of entrepreneurs as well, or like with the small businesses?
Yeah, of course. Those entrepreneurs are in focus. We've been doing the most promotion at their level. So we did a lot of workshops when the public calls for entrepreneurs, for productive investments, for research and development were announced. We informed them about it, and we also collected their ideas about the projects, which they would apply then to the public calls, and we informed the intermediate bodies, the ministries who publish the calls, so that the public calls could be adapted to the regional needs.
To needs. Also, you do needs. Kind of a two-way. Both help the SMEs or the small entrepreneurs in understanding the European regulations and
that's right.
But also you tell them that's very good. So and they have listened to you as well. They have adjusted the calls to the needs of the.
Yeah. At the end, we found out that they listened, and also the response because of such communication on the public calls was very strong. Actually, 25 million was the value earmarked by the call, and around 35 projects were applied. That asks for the support of 44 million. So they somehow demanded more than it was available, which is success on one hand, but on the other hand, I hope that the investors won't be disappointed when the results will come out.
I see.
Yeah, too much.
How does the center collaborate with local businesses and industries to ensure that the employment opportunities they provide will align with the new economic ambitions and of the Zasavie region?
Well, in this regard, we made a study together with the Zasavie Chamber of Commerce.
Was it like a skills mapping? Or?
Yeah, skills mapping about the professions of the future that will be needed in Zasavie. And this study, I think it will be a good basis for the public call of Ministry of Social Affairs that will actually support the upskilling and reskilling the workforce for the future professions.
Have such professions been identified already?
They have been, of course.
Could you name a few examples of professions that might be needed?
Well, more of a sectors were enlisted, which should be supported. So we certainly need the expert on digitalization, and then on I don't know how it's called this in English. Metal workers.
Oh, metal workers. Yeah.
Metal workers. Yeah, metal industry is quite present in our region. Then the chemists, because we have a chemist, a chemical industry present here, and the professions that deal with the robotics. You know, these are the fields. Yeah, but not all of the suggestions were actually supported in this study.
I see.
As we hoped. Yeah.
Great. So bringing it back to the demographic challenge and the trends that are current here in the region of Zasavie, how is the center addressing the challenges posed by the declining demographics? Are there any strategies to retain people, especially the young people, I guess, which are the important lifeblood of economic?
Well, actually, the whole point of just transition is to create jobs, and by this you actually create the environment where the people can live. Or this is actually the jobs are the reason why people move into the region. The Zasavie region actually became so populated because of the jobs in the mines. So when the jobs were lost, we also lost some population, and then we have the work migration, which consequently also leads to depopulation. So our main goal here is to create jobs, and this is also the direction of or the aim of all public calls here. And the first one was already published and was actually for entrepreneurs or companies that would like to expand their production, so employ more people. But the other thing that we want to achieve here with Just Transition is that we would like to somehow diversificate our economy, so bring a new sector into the region that would create jobs. And in this regard, we the project Center for Demonstration and Training and Production of Renewables was established, that you've heard on the conference. And this center will be a research institution that will somehow bring knowledge, into the region. And the knowledge will be on the renewable technologies, which will hopefully bring also new jobs and attract new investors into the region, which will at the end also create new jobs. So all the focus of our Just Transition is, or the main focus is on creating new jobs, which will then create give a reason for people to stay here and attract them back to the country, to the region.
The region. Yeah, it's a valid point, because in a way, what has happened since the transition has already been a process going on for 2 decades, like you said, and many of these miners and the blue collar workers who have who should have and must have initially could have benefited from such a transition, they have already either retired, moved away, I guess, or just found some kind of other employment to trade to do. So I guess now the focus would be into really developing the future for the youth, for the local, the
youth, and as well as to attract people that are migrating daily to work to other regions, find their jobs
Exactly.
in the region.
I see.
Because we have a huge pool of workers that migrate, and we would like to convince them actually to find the jobs here.
In a way, it would increase their quality of life, I imagine, because that way they would save so much of their time that gets lost.
3 hours per day.
The daily commutes. They would love that, being able to work here, I imagine. In that sense, speaking again, to the local community. So how, since this is fairly new, the Just Transition Center, it's only 1 year old, and what do you do to raise awareness among the local community about your work, about things? Are they already becoming aware of the work of also the development agency and the Just Transition Center? How aware are they of?
Well, Just Transition Center is a part of our regional development agency, and actually we are promoting and raising awareness through many events, such as seminars. Today we held a conference on just transition where we presented our achievements and also made some plans for the future. We organize study trips if we think that one topic could be of particular interest to our region. For example, the circular economy. For the circular economy, we established a circular academy, which means that
that's interesting.
We organized many events on that topic. First was the study visit to Netherlands on the Circular Week, and then we held around 4 workshops on circular economy, where the participants were encouraged to design their own circular projects for Zasavie. And today they were presented at the conference, and I was really surprised when I saw that one circular project has already actually the product of the circular project was already being marketed, and
which one was that?
It was on the biocomposites.
That was I found that one, I found that very, very intriguing, interesting as well. We actually speaking of, now that you brought up the topic of the Circular Economy Academy, so this is part of the Just Transition Center itself. And when was it started, this academy?
Academy started, I think we were in Netherlands in March 2023. But we had one workshop even before, so we can say at the beginning of 2003, and it lasted up to now. 2024, sorry.
24. Okay, 24, so this year,
This year,
And it's it's a thing that's integrated into the center, and you'd say it's something that will be a very essential part of the Just Transition Center. What is tell us now a little bit more about this whole, the reason behind it, like how did you come up with the idea of a Circular Economy Academy? Why is this important for the Zasavie region to have such an academy? Why is circular economy so important?
Yeah, because it's, we think the center is one of the most important European initiatives that actually is persuading people on to save the material, in order to preserve our planet and make it better for living. And we also sense that there's a huge interest on such topics in the region, and that we have the demand.
Yeah, are people in Slovenia and in Zasavie, are they aware of like the concept of circular economy? Has it become like a fashionable thing?
Well, older people think in a circular way. They are
The older generation.
Yeah, the older generation, they use the bags many times and they use the materials efficiently, whereas the younger population is...
They're less responsible as consumers.
Less responsible. But the last time, I think that the perception has changed, and we were really surprised about the response on that topic.
And it is, because I find it's a very unique thing that you have the Circular Economy Academy, because you're not only just pushing for a just transition, which already anyway has been happening, but it's about making it more sustainable and resource efficient, and just kind of adding your own value on top of this. Mm-hmm. And will the Circular Economy Academy will it expand into also offering kind of like courses or training for residents of the Zasavie region?
Well, actually, all were invited, and we received around 15 or 20 applications. Mm-hmm. But I think that because we made a good job with it, and that good word was spread around the region, that we'll get more participants, and we would really like to continue with this initiative.
And participation is, I guess, it's like free of charge?
Free of charge, completely free of charge.
So it's something to like open to businesses, to residents, anyone who wants to understand more about the topic, to get ideas, to get fresh perspectives. Mm-hmm. It's actually, there was a very interesting example, like you mentioned, and I also found it very intriguing. One of it was about the biocomposite materials. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Was it? Is it something that was developed right here in Zasavie?
We have a company which is called Mikopor, and I've found about it on one of the workshops of circular economy. I didn't know that it exists in our
because they signed up.
And the owner just came to these workshops with his products, and
he brought his products right there.
It's very light. You can use them for insulation purposes. Yeah. It's completely biodegradable, and so on. And so the story just started. Yeah.
It was very...
You actually activate people, you give them opportunity to show themselves. I think this is necessary.
It's kind of like a promotional space in a way as well. A networking space as well.
Networking, very important.
Yeah, it was very interesting the way he described this material, that it could be applied virtually in any sphere, even to make airplanes. And he used the phrase compostable airplanes, which I found very amazing. Because a compostable airplane. To be... from there on, we can have a circular economy, right? In the true sense of
very futuristic.
Very. The moment we can start composting airplanes, this is it. Now, what is your long-term vision for the economic development of Zasavie post-transition, as we are already in it? And what role will the center play in achieving this vision into the future?
Well, since the majority of all of public calls and even the direct approvals of some projects were made, so we have allocated almost 85% of all just transition funds. We would like to see those projects implemented. We would like to give them support so that they would achieve those expected results. This, I think, is now the main focus of our Just Transition Center on the project field, together with promoting the new European initiatives such as circular economy.
In speaking, even in numbers, would you have any estimate of how many new jobs do you expect might be created in the near future, let's say by the end of the decade or something?
Well, the indicator is set quite low. around 100, but frankly speaking, I haven't counted the number of created jobs that are envisaged by the project in the application form, but it's certainly more than 100. One of the biggest companies that applied for that applied on public call, it manifested that it will create 1,000 jobs.
Yeah.
But today I heard that it will be around 200. So I think that if we put the number at 500, I think it's quite realistic.
It's a more realistic expectation for development. But it is turning the tide backwards, at least. There were many, there were probably hundreds of jobs in mining, but now at least they can start being recovered into something else.
Nobody expects that all those lost jobs will be created back again, because also the jobs have changed, the economic landscape. So we don't need so much workers, but I think that 500 is.
But these are more value-added jobs.
Value-added jobs,
That's something that stimulates the economy, without needing as many workers. What are some of the biggest challenges that the center has faced, or is facing even, in driving employment and business development initiatives in the context of the just transition? What would you say is the challenges that you have to deal with?
Well, the just transition process was the whole new thing for me personally, and for the region as well. And as with all new things, people are afraid of it. They don't know what to expect. So at the beginning, the biggest challenge was to persuade people that the just transition is the thing that
that is something that's worth looking into it.
Looking into it, and maybe worth trying. And it's we put a lot of effort in it. It takes time, I have to say that. But I think that at the end, people accept it. They see that it's giving positive results, and we are optimistic. But
would you say that the technical expertise and bureaucracy are those? Did you find those challenges with the European?
It's quite a bureaucratic job. Quite a lot of regulations. Luckily, I'm a lawyer, so I deal with that stuff more easily. But it is a demanding job. But I think I was surprised compared to Slovenian bureaucratic processes. I think that European ones are
actually more
efficient.
Really, more efficient.
That's my point of view.
Oh, that's great. And because plus there is provision of technical assistance.
We also received the technical assistance, which was very efficient. It was offered to us by the Deloitte company.
I see.
They were good experts on that field.
And also the co-regions in transition itself, the initiative as well from the European Union. I think they provide technical assistance, or
they can do it themselves, but sometimes they also hire
external
consultants.
What metrics or indicators does the center use to assess the success of its programs or its initiatives, particularly in terms of currently employment is not something that's still on the goal, so to do as a plan. But do you have basically of the programs that you're doing, such as the Circular Economy Academy, and how many participants have you had, and are you going to follow up with them? Are you on how they're going to implement their ideas?
Well, yeah, we are following many indicators. Some of them were determined by ourselves. Some are already set by the European Commission and government in the program documents. And these indicators actually help us determine whether we are on the right path or not with just transition, and if this process needs some kind of adaptation, changes. And we take it very seriously. When we were designing our new web page for the Just Transition, we devoted one sub-page only to indicators. Those indicators are automatically refreshed from the statistical office of Slovenia and some other official web pages. So everyone can have a look at it, and those indicators are divided into three groups. One is about the population, the second is about the employment, and I think the environment.
Yeah, those are the key drivers, right?
Key drivers. So we are looking at the GDP rate and population.
Yeah, numbers,
and daily migrations. We are very interested in how many companies have been created in the region, how many jobs they have created. So in these times you can get the access to many information. You just have to use them.
So you can already track the performance of your work, and like whether it's giving out, bearing fruit, and
this is actually one of the tasks of Just Transition Center and also Regional Development Agency, because we are taking part in the evaluation procedure of the Just Transition process of Zasavie together with the government, and we have to provide to the government the information. So
is this like on an annual basis or every few years?
The whole process is monitored quite on the daily basis, I can say so. Yeah. Okay. So we are constantly communicating with stakeholders, local, regional ones, authorities as well. But the evaluation procedure, the formal one, will be done, I think, every 2 years by the government.
Itself, just to see. Because you have the program period, I guess, until 27. Just transition fund.
Every 2 years, I think that the program expects the evaluation of all those processes.
See the results. As for speaking just for yourself, looking ahead, are there any of these projects or initiatives that you're particularly excited about, the ones that are the Just Transition Center is helping with?
Well, I'm the most interested in the Just Transition initiative
itself.
But it's circular economy is of particular interest, and the next year we would like to dedicate some time also to the New European Bauhaus initiative, which
you include that as well.
Yeah, we are trying to include this initiative into our projects already. We are planning actually to renovate one building with the support of Just Transition in accordance with the new Bauhaus principles, which will be then used for educational purposes.
I see. Yeah, so it'll be kind of like a school or it'll be larger training center, maybe.
Larger training center, yeah.
I see. For the so one last question about the specifically speaking about the future, but it is already the present. Many of these businesses that were coming up, I understand they'll be housed in business parks and business zones which are being constructed already, or in one of the main municipalities here that composing the region. And where are they constructed? Like, what kind of does this have to do like with the terrain of former mines, brownfields?
Yeah, the construction of new business zones is one of the leading just transition process of Zasavie, because we're in a lack or in a need of new business areas where new companies could be established and new jobs created. So 3 areas were designated for this purpose in the Zasavie region, and one of the biggest ones is in the city of Târgovița, which is,
I understand, was where the last mine was located.
Yeah, where the last mine was located. It was an area of a former open pit mine.
It was an
open pit mine, which closed down in 1996, and it was already partially rehabilitated by the mining company. So it was restored into its previous form.
Yeah.
And this area is now designated to be repurposed for
there's the next stage.
The next stage to the business zone. So the utility infrastructure will be built there by the support of Just Transition Fund, and there's already a huge demand for the land. I think that half of this area has already been sold before the construction has begun.
I saw that something they mentioned was that the business parks so these business areas in Zasavie region in all the 3 municipalities will be quite small compared to larger cities. This also has to do something with the geography, the particular geography of the region. Why is that?
We have quite challenging geography. It's mountainous.
Yeah,
and it's very hard to build business zones here, because there's almost no flat terrain. Maybe the exception are degraded areas. And in the past, there was not so much need for the business zones, because most of the jobs were underground, 2,000 of them, and now you have to put them on the surface.
So
for that you need the business zone.
To have a flat terrain.
And it's really, I think the best way to build it, if possible, is on the degraded areas.
So this is a good way of rehabilitating and repurposing.
Rehabilitating and repurposing.
Perfect. Well, that has been a very informative conversation, Martin. Thank you so much for participating. And again, I should use the local greetings, srečamo, or good luck with all these ambitious plans that you have in the future.
Srečamo as well to you.
Thank you as well. This has been our